Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the introduction of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise for the introduction of the official party. Please welcome members of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Speaker of the House, the Honorable Mike Johnson, accompanied by Mrs. Johnson, Senate Democratic Leader, the Honorable Charles Schumer, accompanied by Mrs. Weinschall Schumer, House Majority Leader, the Honorable Steve Scalise, accompanied by Mrs. Scalise, and House Democratic Leader, the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries.
So events are officially getting underway here at this luncheon that is occurring inside the U.S. Capitol. Again, this is one of those traditional Inauguration Day events where we see members of Congress, other invited guests, and also the president. Donald Trump will be joining this crowd shortly. They have been gathering. Many of these people were in the rotunda for the swearing in.
Ladies and gentlemen, escorting the Vice President of the United States, ranking member of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Deb Fischer and Mr. Fischer. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice President of the United States, the Honorable J.D. Vance, accompanied by Mrs. Vance. Ladies and gentlemen, escorting the President of the United States, the Chairwoman of the Joint Congressional Committee on Inaugural Ceremonies, the Honorable Amy Klobuchar and Mr. Bessler. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, the Honorable Donald John Trump and Mrs. Trump.
I have a feeling people are very hungry, so I'm going to get this started. Mr. President and Madam First Lady, Mr. Vice President and Madam Second Lady, my colleague Senator Fisher, distinguished guests including the Speaker, Leader Jeffries, and Senate Leaders Thune and Schumer, on behalf of the United States Congress, welcome to the 60th inaugural lunch. Big surprise, we are featuring Nebraska beef and Minnesota apples for dessert. We are here in Statuary Hall, where these luncheons have taken place since President Reagan's first inauguration in 1981, and where the House of Representatives once met over 150 years ago. That would be before you were born, Mr. Speaker. In 1864, after the new House wing of the Capitol was built, and in the midst of the Civil War, Congress dedicated this chamber to host statues chosen by every state. Walking into the hall, we all passed under the arch, holding the marble car of history clock. The statue shows Cleo, the Greek muse of history, holding a book to record events as they happen. And as you can see, she's heard a lot of stuff. And as she rides her chariot forward into the future, she looks behind her to remember the past. She remains here as she has for hundreds of years, a reminder that history will remember the events of the present, and it is on us to write that history right now. Speaking of art, the painting right here before you, I chose this painting for this lunch this summer, and it's titled American Horizon. It's by Jane Wilson, who grew up on her family farm in Seymour, Iowa. Coming from the middle of our country, Senator Fisher and I both liked the painting because the artist is from America's heartland, but the horizon could easily be Florida, Mr. President. I will also note that this is the first time in history we are featuring the work of a woman artist at this lunch, and we thank the Art Institute of Chicago for their assistance. Looking at the vast open landscape of this painting, we're drawn to the bottom of the frame where the land or the water, depending on where you're from, meets the sky, and the horizon endures. The enduring horizon is especially meaningful for us today as we mark our enduring democracy as we approach its 250th anniversary. It's a reminder that what's over the horizon is our next chapter.
There's always problems in life. You know, there's this problem, solve that problem. But you know, there need to be things that inspire you. There need to be things that make you glad to wake up in the morning and say, I'm looking forward to the future. Yeah. And I love you guys. So, and let me tell you, I'm gonna work my ass super fired up for the future. It's going to be very exciting. As the president said, we're going to have a golden age. It's going to be fantastic. And one of the fundamental things, that one of the most American values that I love is optimism. And this feeling like we're gonna make the future good. We're gonna make it good. So, man, I can't wait. This is gonna be fantastic. So thank you again. And yeah, I'm just so excited about the future. Thank you guys, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Patel.
My, oh my, how do you follow Elon Musk when he tells you you're going to take you to Mars? I'll tell you how. He and I share something deeply. We love the American dream. And we have been given a gift by God today to usher in a new dynasty because we just inaugurated Donald J. Trump as our 47th president. And we just inaugurated J.D. Vance as our Vice President of the United States. And we did that because the American dream is alive and well, because you chose that our dream can be the dream for our children and the dream for our world. And we are at a crossroads here in America, but our future is bright because you had the courage to stand for your convictions. So I'm humbled here to talk to you about why I love the American dream. Countrymen murdered, where he saw what lawlessness would do if it was allowed to break through the system of constitutional justice. He fled, like so many others. He married my mother. They moved here. They waited in line. They stood in line because the American dream was worth standing in line for. That dream is woven into the fabric of this nation, and our immigration policy is the greatest policy in the world. And now that we have Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance, it will become the greatest policy in the world again. But dreams and hopes aren't enough, my friends. We got to get to work. And we got to accept the realities that too many of you know from your communities. President Trump launched in his first term priorities of national security, law enforcement, economy, and global diplomacy. But now we have to retread some of that. And I'd just like to go over a few of the things that our community has been living under these last few years. In the last calendar year alone, we had 100,000 drug overdoses. In the last calendar year alone, we had over 100,000 rapes. In the last calendar year alone, we had 17,000 suicides. That is unacceptable in 2025 in the United States of America. That is why we need constitutional law and order. When I read the statistic that for the age group of 18 to 45, the #1 cause of death is CCP fentanyl. We are not prioritized to go after the threats that face this country, and most of all, that face our future generations. But thank God we will be starting right now. President Trump and J.D. Vance's leadership and administration will usher in the priorities that I cherished during my 16 years in government service. That we will always, always honor the men and women who wear the cloth of our nation and stand on that wall and tell you nothing's getting by them tonight. And so to them, thank you. To our teachers and our frontline workers and our first responders, y'all choose to show up every single day for our children, for our communities, and we will now show up for you. Thank you for keeping us safe. To the men and women in law enforcement, and maybe I'm biased on this one. Our police officers, our sheriffs, our federal agents are some of the greatest warriors that God has ever created. And we will put them first because they have our backs, and now we will have your backs. I am standing here because of the American dream. I am not standing here because of the color of my skin. I'm standing here because I earned my right on this stage, and you earned your right to be here with me. And I promise you this, with every fiber of my being, that our law enforcement, that our teachers, that our first responders, that our veterans, that our men and women in uniform who dare to serve this country and put themselves below the rest of our needs will be reprioritized to the top of the heap because they are standing on that wall, and we will not let that light go dark on them. Whether I was a national security prosecutor, a public defender, President Trump's deputy director of national intelligence, his chief of staff at the Department of Defense, or so many other roles that I was humbled and privileged to serve when I swore an oath to that Constitution, which I hope to do so again one day soon. You have my word that you have ushered in a dynasty of change. You have ushered in a dynasty that will allow our children to live this American dream. My American dream. I am living the world's American dream. I am the son of lawful immigrants. We worked our tails off just like you all do, and I'm gonna make you a deal. I promise you I will never quit on your children. I will never quit on their children, because this American dream does not belong to me. It does not belong to them. This American dream belongs to the world. So in closing, I just want to tell you this. It's pretty cool to be speaking in Capital One Arena right before the boss. You've inspired me beyond words. Your love, your devotion, your commitment to our country, everywhere I go, shows us that we are not only the beacon of hope, but we are the land of constitutional justice. We are the land under Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance, where we are going to end the two-tier system of justice. We are going to remove the weaponization of the intelligence community for political purposes, and we are going to put the men and women of America first. So listen, there's just one thing left to do. We all got work to do. We've got the greatest president and the greatest vice president in the history of the world. And so I just need you all to do a little bit more. Every time you see a law enforcement officer, every time you see a veteran, every time you see a teacher, shake their hand, give them a little bit of your time, because they're giving us all of our time. And don't forget to enjoy the ride, ladies and gentlemen. God bless America. God bless these United States of America. God bless every one of you. I'm living the American dream. My name is Kash Patel, and I ain't going anywhere. Let's go to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Dan Scavino.
Let's go! Let's go! Hello, Patriots. How's everybody doing this evening? We're back! USA! 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 The 45th and the 47th President of the United States of America will be here shortly. He's down at the Capitol. He'll be in a little while. He'll be here. They asked me to come out and say a few words and say hello to you great American patriots that came from all over the country. Thank you for being here today. One thing I just noticed when we were leaving the Capitol after the swearing in that really hit me hard after the journey we have been on over the last 9 years, especially over the last 4 years. It really hit me when they took the presidential seal right here and put it on front of the podium for when the president gets here. President Trump often says to us on Team Trump over the years, "You're so lucky that I took you on this journey." In the good times and the bad times, no matter what would be happening, we'd be sitting on Trump Force One, Air Force One, in the Oval Office, at Mar-a-Lago, no matter where it may be. Good times, bad times. You are so lucky I took you on this journey. And you know what, Mr. President? You are damn right. You took all of us on this journey. There's been a lot of stops along the way from 2016 when we started back in 2015 with a small campaign team flying around the country, doing rallies, small team, 6, 7, maybe 8 people. Then it continued to grow. Before you knew it, the GOP nomination was going to Donald J. Trump in Cleveland in 2016. Fast forward, he became the 45th president of the United States of America. He had a great 4-year term, and you know what's been great? The last 4 years have not been great in many senses, but he's back in office right now, and I'm just absolutely so pumped up for what this president is going to do. He loves each and every one of you in this arena. The guy cares. He has a fighting spirit, as you saw in Butler, Pennsylvania, with the assassination attempt that came a few months ago. You could say that again. Fight, fight, fight. It's a moment that I will never forget, being there and in the hospital with him. I want to just give you a behind-the-scenes moment with the president and the heart that he has.
We were in the hospital he had blood coming down his ear. He wanted to know how his staff was. Myself and Susie were with him, and Stephen Chung and Walt, and even the Secret Service. How are you guys doing? The guy just got shot in the damn head and he's worried about us. Are you guys okay? He's on the phone with his family. Showed him a picture, the iconic photo of his fist raised in the air. Told him it was from Doug Mills from the New York Times, a great photographer. He looked at the picture, he's staring at the picture, one of the most historical photos of all time. There'll never be anything like it. He said, call Doug and see if he's doing okay. That's the attitude he had in that hospital. Our president has been resilient through a lot, and I don't need to get into all of it because you're all familiar with it, and I'm convinced much of it that went on over the last 4 years is why he won the election in an electoral landslide. In Butler, Pennsylvania, when he got up and he raised that fist and he shouted, "Fight." He will do that for every one of you, for the United States of America. He will always put America first, without question. He loves what he does. He's got a great administration and a great team behind him. What a journey. McDonald's, drive-through window, garbage trucks showing up at a rally, and him on the plane putting on his orange vest. Sir, are you gonna take that off? I'm going to the rally in my orange vest. The guy is 1 in a trillion. There will never be anybody like this man again. Enjoy this moment, enjoy this movement, and together we will continue to fight, 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 put America first, and make America great again. God bless everybody here. We love you. Thank you.
So many things that I wanna say. You know I like my girls a little bit older. I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna lose your love tonight. I ain't got many friends to talk to. The ways are up and up and down. You know I know anything for you. Staying up and keeping us together. I just want to use your love tonight. I don't want to lose your love tonight. Just 'cause you're looking, don't need around. Another shoulder to cry upon. I just wanna use your love tonight. Yeah, I don't wanna lose your love tonight. Yeah, I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna Yeah, I've been sipping, I've been buzzing, shooting doubles like it's nothing, all or nothing makes you go away. I need something you prove, something stronger than I'm used to. Yeah, I've been pulling 92 hard and feel like nothing's gonna cut it, that's the hard truth. Yeah, I need something you prove. Oh, I need something you prove. Put 'em up till they shut 'em down, yeah. You never ain't out of brand, yeah. Don't matter what time, what town, I can't get you gone. Turn the bar, yeah, upside down. Just looking for something that does it. I give 'em all my money, ain't nobody selling nothing you prove. Something stronger than I'm used to. Yeah, I've been pulling 92 hard and feel like nothing's gonna cut it, that's the hard truth. Yeah, I need something you prove. Oh, I need something you prove. Yeah, I've been mixing liquors trying to get you gone. Oh, but I must be doing something wrong. Cause I've been working hard to fade your memory. Baby, but the only thing faded is me. I need something you prove. Something stronger than I'm used to. Yeah, I've been pulling 92 on and feel like nothing's gonna cut it. That's a hard truth. I need something you prove. Oh, I need something you prove. Sunday morning, man, she woke up fighting mad, bitching and moaning on and on about the time I had. And by Tuesday, you could say that girl was good as gone. And then when Thursday came around, I was all alone. So I went for a drive to clear my mind. Ended up at a shell on I-65. Then I won $100 on a scratch-off ticket. Bought 2 12-packs and a tank of gas with it. She swore they were a waste of time, all, but she was wrong. I was calling number 5 on the radio station, 104.83 night beach vacation. Deep sea senorita fishing down in Panama. And I ain't gotta see my ex-future mother-in-law anymore. Oh Lord, when it rains, it pours. Now she was sure real quick to up and apologize when she heard about my newfound luck on that FM dial. And it's crazy how lately now it just seems to come in waves. What I thought was gonna be the death of me is my saving grace. It's got me thinking that her leaving is the only logical reason that I got the last spot in the Hooters parking lot, and the waitress left her number on my check with a heart. She picked up on the first ring when I gave her a call. And I only spent $5 at the Moose Club raffle. One they used four-wheeler and 3 free passes for me and 2 of my buddies to play around the golf. And I ain't gotta see my ex-future mother-in-law anymore. Oh Lord, when it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. I've been on one hell of a redneck road for 3 weeks now. And it all started on the day that she walked out. Then I won $100 on a scratch-off ticket. Bought 2 12-packs and a tank of gas with it. She swore they were a waste of time, all, but she was wrong. And I was calling number 5 on the radio station, 104.83 night beach vacation. Deep sea senorita fishing down in Panama. And I ain't gotta see my ex-future mother-in-law anymore. Oh Lord, when it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours.
And I'll tell you, I was extraordinarily blessed to have just come from the Capitol, where I had one of the most satisfying 2 hours of my entire life, when I get to listen to President Trump talk about how horrible this country has been treated, and all of us have been treated, and the horrible things that have been done to all of us this last administration for the last 4 years, and how he was going to fix it all, and he did it right there with Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Jill Biden, and everybody else, Kamala Harris. They had to sit there and listen to it, and I loved it. Loved it. I'll tell you what, you know, I thought for sure, I mean, I've always said that the 45th president of the United States is the absolute best president that this country has ever had. But you know what? I think the 47th president is going to be even better. We are in for a change. This is a great day. How many of you out there think this is one of the best days of your entire life? Absolutely it is. We had one chance to get this country back. We were headed down a path of destruction that we would never, ever recover from, I promise you. And we have been given a second chance in the form of Donald J. Trump. He's here, he's back, and he's going to fix what's broken. We're going to get our border back. We're going to stop the illegal immigrants and the cartels that have laid devastation to this country. We're going to lock them up. We're going to get rid of them. We're going to get our economy back. We're going to get our military back. We're going to get our federal government back. We're taking it all back. This is a great time to be an American. This is a great day to be an American. And I just wanted to come here, and I can't wait till he gets here to talk to all of you guys. I want to thank you for what you've done, because he got elected because people like you got out and you voted, and you took neighbors who've never voted to the polls, and we all voted, and there was an overwhelming mandate in this country for Donald Trump to come in here and to take this country back. And so I know we're all excited to be here today. It's going to be super exciting when he gets here in a minute. I just wanted to come up here and tell you how much I love you, how much I appreciate you. I want to say God bless you, God bless the United States of America, and God bless Donald J. Trump. Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
What a great day to be an American. I have to admit, it's a little surreal to be back in Washington, D.C. right now. 8 years ago, I was one of the very first staffers to go into the White House for President Trump's first term. And today, because Donald Trump believed in me, defended me, I stand before you as the youngest governor in the country. More importantly, I stand here as someone who absolutely loves this country and is so thankful we finally have a president that is back in the White House that will fight for each one of us. My youngest son, George, is a little tired of hearing me be called the youngest governor in the country. The other day, he asked me, he said, "Mom, you're the youngest governor in the country?" I said, "Yeah, George." He said, "Wow, those other governors must be really old." No offense to my colleagues. Whether you think I'm too young or you think they're too old, Republican governors have been holding the line while we waited on Donald Trump to get back to the White House. And ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over. We now have a fighter back at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and I could not be more excited. The reason I'm so excited to see Donald Trump back in the White House is because I know he's a president who absolutely loves America. Not even an assassin's bullet could keep him down and stop him from continuing to fight for each one of us. Over the course of the 2.5 years I had the privilege of serving President Trump, I got to travel with him literally all over the world, seeing firsthand just how much he loves this country. And on one particular trip, it was unlike anything we'd ever done before and probably any of us will ever do again. Some of you have heard this story, but I want to remind you of who Donald Trump is at his core. We boarded Air Force One in complete and total darkness. There were no lights on the plane, no lights on the runway. And 12 hours later, on Christmas night, when we touched down in war-torn Western Iraq, again, a similar scene. No lights on the runway, no lights on the plane. No one knew that the President of the United States had traveled around the world on Christmas night until we got there. And the President walked in to a dining hall that was packed with troops, men, women, from all over the country. Every demographic you can imagine represented in that room in that moment. And when he stepped in and surprised the men and women of our military, it was a sight and a scene and a sound that I know I will never forget. People chanting in perfect unison, an absolutely unbelievable picture of what makes America incredible. Those men and women cheering, chanting over and over and over again, USA, USA, USA. And there was a young soldier in the back of the room, and he said, "Mr. President, I re-enlisted in the military because of you." And the president said, without missing a beat, "And son, I am here because of you." We finally have a president who will stand up for our country and that will protect and fight for the men and women who wear the uniform and give us the freedom so we easily enjoy. That young soldier came up to me and he tore the patch off of his shoulder and he placed it into my hand. And he said, "Sarah, we are in this together." Ladies and gentlemen, that young man and everyone that has served before him, everyone that will serve after him, deserves to know that we have a leader that loves this country and will do everything he can to make it great. And that's exactly what we have in Donald J. Trump. I've had the opportunity to stand behind a microphone and defend and celebrate this president many times. But this may be the very proudest because I know over the next 4 years, he is going to rebuild our country and make it the best that it has ever been. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting our president. Let's get to work. Thank you so much and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage RNC Chairman Michael Watley.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get it done. And every time I step up in the building.
God bless America. What a great day for our country. You know, a few months ago, Donald Trump and I got on a plane in Palm Beach at 6 a.m. We flew to Phoenix. We did a rally with Charlie Kirk and the Turning Point guys. We got back on the plane. We flew up to San Francisco. Had a huge dinner there, about an hour-long motorcade back. And we're flying down from San Francisco to Los Angeles. It's about 12:30 p.m. Pacific time, 3:30 a.m. Eastern time. Donald Trump has been on a plane for 21 and a half hours. And he looks over at me and he says, "Hey, Michael, pretty cool, huh?" Pretty cool. You know, about 9.5 years ago, he came down the escalator in New York City. And to everybody's shock and dismay, he said, "I am going to make America great again. We are going to rebuild our southern border. We are going to restore our economy. We are going to keep our communities safe. And we're going to make sure that America is strong enough to protect our interests and our allies around the world." And I can say that over the last year, as we have taken that message to Detroit, to Philadelphia, to New York, to Milwaukee, to San Francisco, and everywhere in between, that man, our president, has never wavered. And here we are today, and at 12:01, right up the street, he put his hand on a Bible, and he swore an oath to make America great again. So let me ask you, and let me ask all of America, are you ready for America to be wealthy again? Are you ready for America to be safe again? Are you ready for America to be strong again? Are you ready for America to be great again? Are you ready for Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance to be the president and the vice president of the United States of America? Pretty cool, huh? Thank you, America, and thank you for everything that you did to make today a reality.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Congressman Byron Donalds.
No one said it would be easy to hold your head up through the ups and downs. If you want it and you believe it, you can find a way to turn it around. Got a feeling in my bones that a change is
Whether it was Georgia, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Arizona, or Nevada, we swept them all, and Donald Trump is president of the United States. For years, they said it wasn't going to happen. For years, they said, no, it's going to be the left's way. But it was the American people who looked the craziness of the left in the eye and said, we need common sense. We need real vision. We need a country that is going to be preeminent above all others. And we need the American people to be put first. And all of you in this arena and around this country made sure Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States. Being here in Washington on January 20th is special for me. This is the day we commemorate the birthday of Dr. King. And as I was sitting in the Capitol Rotunda, as I was watching Donald Trump give the best speech ever at a presidential inauguration, it reminded me to another great speech. And Pastor Sewell and his benediction, I gotta have a talking with him because he was phenomenal. But what it said to me is that in our country, there are no perfect men. There are no perfect women. There are people who were used at a point in time in this country to put this country in position to be better than it was before. And so that's why in the Capitol Rotunda, when President Trump talked about that bullet that went through his ear, and that he is here at this time because God has placed him here at this time to make sure that the golden era of America comes through right now. So yes, we are gonna make sure that we get your prices under control and we have a great economy. Yes, we're gonna get out of stupid wars and dumb conflicts, and we're gonna have peace through strength. Yes, our soldiers are gonna be focused on their core mission, and that is to kill the enemy and to come home. Yes, we're gonna have the largest repatriation force of illegal immigrants in the history of this country, because the only way you come to America is legally, following the law. All of those promises and more, they're gonna be kept starting today at that very desk over there. And I got a special message, and this is for states like California and New York and Illinois. If you want to continue to have a dumpster fire form of government, if you want to continue to mislead your people thinking that your radical policies are the way forward, people like myself in the great state of Florida and Tennessee and Texas and the administration of Donald J. Trump, we are going to show you what true governance is. We are going to show you what true leadership is. And we are going to show the people in your states that they don't have to live with Gavin Newsom. They can have a Republican again in the state of California. And the last thing, because I don't want this to be about red states versus blue states, we are Americans. And the thing that will unify us is the success of our nation. When a young kid can grow up in the inner city and make something of himself, that is success. When a mom can dream about her children and they achieve something wonderful in America, that is success. When an immigrant from another country comes through the right way and they actually build something and they add to what America truly is, that is success. When we unify our efforts and we can disagree but still keep the most perfect union ever known going, that is success. Those are the common sense ideals of America. That is the leadership that Donald Trump is going to bring. And I don't care if you're in California or Florida, that is going to be the guiding principles of the United States of America. So buckle up, everybody, because we're going to be unified. We're going to get the job done. And I don't know about you, I'm kind of sick of speeches. On Capitol Hill, a few blocks from here, we are going to get the job done, or people will be moved out of the way. God bless you guys. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and their families. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Charlie Kirk.
We did it, everybody. It is hard to believe, almost surreal. For those of you that have always had the president's back throughout these last couple of years, when we were at our darkest moment 4 years ago, this is your victory. For those of you that refuse to waver, when they tried to throw our amazing patriots in federal prison, when they tried to silence this movement, for those of you that never wavered, this is your victory. For those of you that are sick and tired of seeing your beloved home be overrun by hordes of illegals, this is your victory. And no longer is this just a rally about what we say we're going to do when President Trump takes office. Now I can say what he's doing right now as we are here in this arena. As we are here right now, President Donald Trump is signing executive order after executive order, 200 executive actions and orders today, some of which include drill baby drill, curb inflation, national emergency on the southern border, and my favorite, that God created man and woman. There are no other genders besides that. No more critical race theory or diversity, equity, inclusion in our military. Our taxpayer dollars will no longer fund our kids to hate our country. It is over as of today, thanks to President Trump. And what you saw from President Trump today, which, by the way, I believe was the best inaugural address in American history. And the reason why it was the best, it was not platitudes or abstractions or empty promises. It wasn't about stuff that the DC regime wants to hear. While they were all sitting behind him, he basically said, the people in this room have been robbing you, the American people. You see, as of high noon, just an hour and a half ago, the 46th president is no longer. And And you might think it was Joe Biden, but it really was a bunch of White House staffers that you've never heard of before. Their term is over. It will go 45 Trump, a bunch of White House staffers, 47 Trump. That is how the succession will go. And what we have seen these last couple of years was the intentional destruction and obliteration of our homeland. And in just one day, we're going to understand a very simple truth, that decline is a choice. That when your country is failing, it's because our leaders have decided to allow it to fail. And President Trump, I really believe, is on a mission from the Almighty to save this country in that millimeter miracle where he very well could have been not just shot, but unspeakable things could have happened in Butler, Pennsylvania. And the reason that they wanted to take out Donald Trump so bad, 700 years in federal prison, every possible way imaginable, is because he brings you guys into the room, is because he brings you into the negotiation. You see, this was supposed to be a managed decline of the United States of America. And just understand what you are living through. You're living through a new American renaissance. And honestly, there were a lot of people that said there's no way they'll allow Donald Trump to be president again. They're going to steal it. They're going to use the machines. And I understand all that. They're going to try to take him out. But never underestimate the will of the American people and the sovereignty of God towards righteous and good purposes. Donald Trump is evidence that God is not done with the United States of America, that our best days are ahead of us. And our marching orders are very simple. Right now,
The southern border is being secured and it is being militarized. There are no more illegal entries allowed in the United States of America right now. It is right now. Right now, the invasion is over. It is over. And we have to understand that it's going to be more than just executive actions. It's all of you continue to fight in your community. It's all of you continue to understand that this is going to be a bottom-up movement to reclaim our communities, to reclaim our school boards, to make sure our kids love America again. And for me personally, I have a lot of things that I could have done, but the most important thing that I can do and Turning Point can do is to go back on these campuses to make sure that Gen Z is the most conservative generation in American history. I'll say this in closing, everybody. In closing, Donald Trump won the White House largely because younger voters trusted Donald Trump with their vote. It was the largest swing of any demographic, a 35-point swing. For 12 years, I have been focusing on trying to get young people to believe in America, to believe in conservative principles. And I went to campus after campus, and you know, it was not easy work. It was very difficult. But I will, to all the young people of America and Gen Z, I want you to know, President Trump is going to deliver for you so that you could be able to own a home, have big families, believe in this country, and the American dream that your parents once had, you will also be able to enjoy. And let us all together say, thank you, God. Thank you for giving us 45 and 47. Thank you for delivering this country from the most awful people imaginable. Our best days are ahead. Thank you, everybody. God bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the next Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick.
Good afternoon on the greatest Inauguration Day ever. Today is one of the most important days in American history because Donald J. Trump is right now heading back to the White House. I could not be prouder to be standing before you because 77 million Americans voted for Donald Trump to make sure that it is always America first. So I want to tell you some stories because no president, you know, Donald Trump is now the oldest president to take office, but no president has ever had his work ethic, his energy, or his intuition. So when the president sees a problem, he calls it out. You know it, right? He's the one who said fake news. He's the one who said the swamp. He's the one who said the deep state. We've all heard him say it, and now we all know it's true. And his intuition is always right, so he starts talking about bad trade deals. You know, that's what he thinks. So let me tell you a story about the last day on the campaign trail. So I went to meet the president in North Carolina, okay? He gets up in the morning at 8 o'clock. We get in the motorcade. He gives a speech. He goes to 3 states, 4 rallies, an hour and a half each rally, finishes midnight. We start 8 a.m. He finishes midnight, gets on the stage midnight in Grand Rapids, Michigan, speaks for 2 hours. 2 hours, never takes a nap. And when he's on the stage, he's never taken a sip
of water. The man is power. He is power. See, no other president will let the administration do it. He's going to help us fix America. So I've never been in politics before. I spent my life working and building companies, and I worked hard to build a life that really it's only possible in America. But on September 11th, when we saw our darkest day, it changed my life forever. See, my company was located on the 101st to the 105th floors of the World Trade Center. We lost 658 of our 960 New York-based employees. My younger brother, Gary, got killed. He was 36. My best friend, Doug, 39. 658 of my friends and colleagues got killed. So 9/11 could have broken us, but we Americans, we're strong. We don't break. So we all, my employees and I, we dedicated ourselves to rebuilding the company so we could take care of the 658 families that we lost. And I want you to know, we received thousands and thousands of cards and letters, and most importantly, we received all of your prayers, and that mattered to us and helped carry us through. So the events of September 11th, they instilled in me a sense of community and dedication for the country. So when the president asked me to join him in his administration, I jumped at the chance. So I was the co-chair of the transition team, which helped pick for the president, helped sort of set him up so he could pick all the nominees. And then I'm really proud to tell you that President Trump has nominated me to be the next Secretary of Commerce for the United States to serve all of you. So let's talk about commerce. You see, we plan to end the decades of policies that threw American workers to the wolves. Factories were closed, jobs were lost, wages decreased. We left Americans out in the cold while country after country of this world took us to the cleaners and made money off of us. And that is going to end today. At the start of the 20th century, America was the richest country on earth, and we defended our workers from unfair trade policies with tariffs. And we only made money. We had no income tax. All we did is charge other countries and foreign companies, if they wanted to sell to America, you had to pay for entry. Okay, so imagine this. The US government had no income tax. Americans got to keep all their hard-earned money, and foreigners paid the price. So now what's happened? We have the Internal Revenue Service. That means charge us internally. Now imagine politicians who can't even balance their own checkbook, taking our money, and what do they do every year? Let's just take more, let's just take more, let's just take more. So this is how Donald Trump is going to end it and fix it. Last week, he announced that we're going to return America to greatness by creating, and today is its birthday, the External Revenue Service. So if you're always wondering, is some bureaucrat going to cut your benefits? Not under Donald Trump. Not under Donald Trump. It means foreign companies are going to pay if they want to come and sell products to the wealthiest country on earth. And if they want to compete with American workers, then let's just not tax our American workers. It means creating level playing fields, and it means that America will be great by reducing the taxes that we pay and driving the ones that they pay. So what that means is the External Revenue Service will put up tariffs or walls that protect you. And that means if these companies don't want to pay, there's only one thing they can do: build their factories in America, hire Americans with great high-paying jobs. Let's double the size of our unions in America, but not just by adding more and more great-paying jobs. That's our objective. So today is the beginning of celebrating the return of common sense and the ending the decades of disrespecting the American worker and the disrespect and unfair treatment of our workers. Today, Donald Trump returns to the White House and prosperity returns to America. Thank you all. And I love today. What a day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Governor Glenn Youngkin.
Thank you. Well, come on now. Can't you feel it? The American spirit is alive and well. This is the dawn of the golden age of America because we inaugurated the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. What a day to be in Washington, D.C. You know, I live right across the river in Virginia. And by the way, in Virginia, we know that taxes have to be low, jobs have to be plentiful, and it's your money, not the government's. But we also know that in Virginia and in America, freedom is not free. We know that our military heroes and their families sacrifice everything. We know that law enforcement stands in the breach. We must back the blue, and I want everybody here to give a rounding applause for the 25,000 military and police officers keeping us all safe today in Washington, D.C. God bless America. My friends, we are standing here on the dawn of a new age, and we are seeing the sun set. The sun set on weakness, the sun set on wokeness, and the sun set on a wide open border that has turned every state into a border state. We are seeing the dawn of a prosperous America, the dawn of a secure and safe America, and the dawn of a world that sees peace because we have a strong America. Our new president, Donald J. Trump, has never, ever lost faith in America. They tried to take him down legally. They tried to put him in jail. They tried to even assassinate him. And he never gave up on America. And America, we will never give up on him.
And as we stand here on this dawn of the next golden age in America, we all have a responsibility. It is our responsibility to stand every day in support of this administration, to do everything that we possibly can do for America's success. President Trump deeply believes this, and both he and J.D. Vance have already gone to work. He is signing executive orders. He is closing the border. He is bringing down inflation. He is stepping into the breach. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for America to be prosperous again. It is time for America to be safe again. It is time for America to be strong again. And it is time for America to be great again. I hail from the great Commonwealth of Virginia, and we know a few great Americans in our history, from George Washington to Thomas Jefferson to James Madison to Patrick Henry, who echoed, "Give me liberty or give me death." My friends, those words that Thomas Jefferson penned, which are the greatest words, at least in this hemisphere, ever written, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we stand here on the dawn of a new age where life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are available to every American. And we must stand together as we collectively say, God bless America and God bless Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance. Thank you all very much. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Elon Musk.
This is what victory feels like. Yeah! And this was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay. You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured. Thanks to you. We're going to have safe cities, finally, safe cities. Secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff. And we're going to take Doge to Mars. I mean, can you imagine how awesome it will be to have American astronauts plant the flag on another planet for the first time? How inspiring would that be? You know, there's always problems in life. You know, there's this problem, solve that problem. But you know, there need to be things that inspire you. There need to be things that make you glad to wake up in the morning and say, I'm looking forward to the future. Yeah. And I love you guys. So, and let me tell you, I'm gonna work my ass off for you guys. Sorry. I really will. So, and yeah, but I'm super fired up for the future. It's going to be very exciting. As the president said, we're going to have a golden age. It's going to be fantastic. And one of the fundamental things, one of the most American values that I love is optimism, and this feeling like we're gonna make the future good. We're gonna make it good. So, man, I can't wait. This is gonna be fantastic. So thank you again, and yeah, I'm just so excited about the future. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Kash Patel.
My, oh my, how do you follow Elon Musk when he tells you you're going to take you to Mars? I'll tell you how. He and I share something deeply. We love the American dream. And we have been given a gift by God today to usher in a new dynasty because we just inaugurated
concludes first honors. Stand by. Honor, guard. Attention. Hold. Right shoulder up. Hold. Ready. One. Commanders, take charge of your units. Right. Right. Forward. Forward. Right. Hands. Forward. Down. Up. Forward. Oh. Return. Hold. Stay forward. March. Ready. Down. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Army's premier national musical outreach organization, the United States Army Field Band from Fort Meade, Maryland. They are led by Commander and Conductor Lieutenant Colonel Domingo S. Robinson. The U.S. Army Field Band develops positive connections on behalf of the Army, the Department of Defense, and the United States through live music, multimedia performances, television productions, and emergent technologies, traveling thousands of miles annually across our nation and around the world, and appearing regularly on major television and streaming events. The Field Band proudly honors our soldiers and veterans while strengthening ties with communities worldwide.